Hey, welcome back, everyone. We're having our monthly conversation with the Food Bank of Lincoln, and here to talk about everything the food bank needs right now is Michaela. Thank you for joining us today.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, so we're going to talk about SNAP benefits right now, correct?
Yeah. So, with the weather conditions recently, we have had to postpone and cancel, in some instances, food distributions. We talked about churches and schools closing, and that means getting access to food can be a challenge for folks. And so that's why the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, called SNAP, is so important.
And talk about how many people this impacts. I know you think you mention this basically every time you hear, but how many people does that impact?
Well, food insecurity across southeast Nebraska, we know that there are nearly 60,000 of our neighbors here in southeast Nebraska who face hunger and food insecurity, and SNAP eligibility is kind of a different thing. It's not open to just everyone. There are requirements, and so there's a process that folks can go through to either to apply or recertify for that benefit. But once it is theirs and they've gotten that, it is basically money on a card that they can go into the grocery store and get what they need to meet their nutritional values within restrictions. There are restrictions on what folks can get, but it's gives some of that personal independence and agency. So.
And when the schools do close down, is the food bank still open and able for people to get some of that food? Because I know it causes a lot of anxiety for some of those kids and those families that are food insecure right now.
Yeah, so we're not one of those places that straight follow the LPS closure policy. We take all the factors and into consideration, and so sometimes we're open. And whenever we are, we encourage, if people are able to get out. I mean, sometimes we're just telling folks to stay home because it's the safest thing. But if the food bank is open, we do have welcome bags and things like that. But when school is in session, and that's a good thing, that's a really good thing, then our child hunger programs and the LPS emergency pantry and the 115 schools across southeast Nebraska, we are operating those programs and helping to keep children and families fed.
And what does that entail?
Logistics.
Yes.
A lot of logistics. So we've had issues with some of our trucks not starting and things like that, so gelling up and things like that. But it is a network. It is an expansive network of partnership with schools, with community agencies, with volunteers. So we're thinking about what are the risks. We've talked this week about when is something inconvenient versus unsafe. Right. And so those are the things that we're thinking about. But we always want to do our very best to make sure that neighbors get fed.
Do you guys need volunteers right now?
Always, yep. Volunteers and financial support to help us get the food that we need. And so lincolnfoodbank.org is the place where we have all of our weather updates, all of our calls for volunteers, and a place to donate.
Do you guys have any specific things right now in the pantry?
Yeah, I would say cereal is always a big one.
Yep.
Canned vegetables and fruits, always another good option. And protein. When folks, hopefully people are staying upright on the slick conditions, but if there's an injury, protein helps heal the body's wounds and things. So canned meat, peanut butter, all those types of things.
And where again can they find information?
Yeah, lincolnfoodbank.org.
All right, awesome. Michaela, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Andrew.
All right, we'll be right back, everyone. Please stay with us.